We outside, gang. You know what I'm saying? So today, we want to talk about learning your flaws, right? So if you look at the frequency chart and the emotional scale, you know, guilt and shame is the lowest frequency, and the highest frequency is enlightenment / authenticity, right? So being true to oneself, being honest, being authentic, being real, being genuine, right? You want to understand yourself like the back of your hand, right? Literally, you want to understand yourself inside and out. You want to know your strengths. You want to know your weak points. You want to know what triggers you. You want to know what fulfills you, what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, what also irritates you, what bothers you, what pulls you down. Learn yourself, understand yourself, and understand what will make you better, right? Because when you start learning about yourself, you understand what upsets you and what frustrates you. You can begin to create a strategy and a game plan to help yourself flourish, help catapult you to the next level where you can grow and expand. You understand? So you can be able to explain to people that you're dealing with what you prefer for them to do, what you need them to stop doing, what you would rather them say and do, and how you would like them to adjust according to your liking. You know what I'm saying? So you want to learn yourself, learn your flaws, learn your weak points, right? And I kind of look at it like 2K or Madden, like a video game, right? So say you got a creative player, and this player, all right, let's say we talking about 2K, right? Let's say this player is shooting on a 99, right? He got Jimmy, you know what I'm saying? Knockdown all day, right? But let's say his handling and passing need help, right? His handling and passing on a 60, but his shooting on a 99, right? Like, some people, they'll only dwell on the things that they're good at and the things that they're great at. So they'll just keep focusing on the fact that they could shoot well, rather than acknowledge the fact that their passing and dribbling needs to be worked on, right? Why spend so much time acknowledging the things that you're good and great at and only sit on those topics rather than focus on what you need to work on? Take time to understand your weak points, understand what you need to adjust, understand what you need to cater to, and understand how you can fix these areas, because everything takes time, but everything can grow. Like, if you put a game plan in motion, you can fix these areas. It's not the end all be all just because these are weak points right now. You know, anybody that is strong was once weak. You got to understand. So we start from somewhere, right? You see a person running, but at some point they had to jog, and at some point they had to walk, and at some point they had to crawl, right? So it's a process to get to where we need to go, right? Take time to learn yourself, understand your flaws, understand your weak points, understand the areas that you need help with, right? And write things down. Take time and journal it, right? Me personally, what I suggest is a T-chart, right? This is what I mean for myself, right? In my journal, line straight down, line across at the top, right? Put pros on the left, put cons on the right? And then I write down all the pros of myself, all the things I'm great at, all the things I love about myself, all the things that I know people enjoy about me, right? Because you kind of got to have like an outer body perspective, like an outer body experience in order to be honest with yourself about this. So for me personally, I'll think about different things that people have told me that they dislike about me, or things that I know have frustrated people in the past, right? And those are the things that I write on the side where the cons are, right? Things that I need to work on, things that I'm not good at, things that I know upset other people, areas that are weak points in my life, you know, that could use some fixing. And it takes acknowledgement, you know? So with this whole concept of working on your weak points, I'm not gonna lie, it does take a lot of confidence. You know, it does take some self-esteem, you know? So you wanna be gentle with yourself and go at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? It's not a race, go at your own pace. For real, it's not a race, go at your own pace and handle yourself with grace. You see what I'm saying? For real, because you don't wanna beat yourself up and self-sabotage and feel defeated or discouraged just because you need to fix these areas or work on yourself. No, you wanna feel good. The fact that you can even acknowledge things that aren't good about yourself and areas that are weak points is powerful within itself, you know? that takes real strength. That takes true humility and courage to be able to sit there and take time and acknowledge the things that are not good about yourself. And you know, I've experienced this head on because I was dealing with a female not too long ago, and I'm not gonna lie, wonderful young lady, you know what I'm saying? But she just, you know, she was very frustrating to deal with, not gonna lie, because she had a very difficult time acknowledging things about herself that weren't good. You know, she would always dwell on the things that she was good at. If I pointed out something that was a weak point of hers or something I want her to work on, she would always be very combative and argumentative and would just bark back about and be remind me things that she's good at. Like, okay, but you saying this, but like, I do this though, I do that though, but I could cook though, but I could clean though, but I'm like, that's not what we're talking about though. Like, that's not what we're discussing. We're like, why are you mentioning things that you're good at every time I mention things that you need to work on, things that you're bad at? You know, but I realized over time, like, oh, it's her confidence. Like, if she acknowledges these things, it's gonna make her feel bad about herself, you know? And I realized, like, yikes, that's not really good. But I had to learn that, like, okay, I gotta be more gentle with her because everybody gotta go at their own pace. You know, although I look at her like she's confident, and I look at her like she should have a high level of self-esteem and she should be able to acknowledge these things. That's not necessarily where she's at currently. So I had to, you know, take the foot off the gas a little bit and be a little bit more gentle with her and be honest with her. What's going on, boss? You know what I'm saying? So the whole concept is crazy. I'm talking about her. She just texted me. That's crazy. Speaking of the angels, you know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is like, you know, you just want to be honest with yourself. You want to be authentic. You want to be genuine. And you want to be real. You don't want to fraud to yourself and lie to yourself and make yourself feel good by gassing yourself up and telling yourself all these great things that you do and but you never take time to acknowledge what you need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Take time to understand your flaws. Learn yourself inside and out. Nobody should be able to tell you things about yourself that you don't already know. Nobody should be able to tell you about your weak points and it hurts you or hurt your feelings. Why is it hurting your feelings? You should just be like, true that, you know, I already understand, but I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I'm going to take time to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Just be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're making it too complex of a thing, you know? So just take time, be gentle with yourself. You don't want to self-sabotage and be sitting there and acknowledging all these things that you do wrong and not giving yourself praise or not giving yourself a pat on the back. Matter of fact, take time to pat yourself on the back, literally. You know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself praise for even watching this video and even acknowledging this, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, learn your flaws, learn your weak points, learn what you need to fix about yourself, understand your triggers, understand what bothers you, you know? And then understand and learn a game plan and figure out a strategy and put something in place that will help find a solution to these weak points. You see what I'm saying? Because acknowledging the problem is powerful, but finding a solution is the end goal. Gang, we out.